What is going on, guys? This is episode 30 of the Game Corner podcast. I am, of course, The Rose, and this is the first podcast in about 4 weeks. The last one I did was before WrestleMania. Haven't done one in a while because there's been just a lack of news or horrible weather on the weekends, and I didn't want to record because I didn't want to have my PC on because we were supposed to have thunderstorms, and then it didn't happen, and then it finally did happen, and it was pretty bad. And then, of course, last week was Easter, so I was away celebrating with the family. So I am back now. This is episode 30 of the podcast. Follow me and my friend Erin Fitzgerald on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. So links in the description down below, as always. Check those out. And without further ado, let's get into the podcast. Now, what you're seeing here is some Mortal Kombat 11 footage. I'll be running through the crypt, as you can see here, unlocking some stuff. And, so I really like this game so far. I've been playing it so much that the skin on a couple of my fingers have started to crack. So that's a thing. And I have some thoughts on this game, which I'm not going to get into right now because I'm going to be reviewing the game on the next episode, which should be next week, or this weekend coming up. So I'll hold off on that. And speaking of Mortal Kombat, you can check out my unboxing video, which I've done on the channel. I got my collector's edition 2 days late from GameStop online, even though I paid the $10 shipping for expedited shipping and didn't get it. So I got ripped off. Thanks again, GameStop, you fucking bastards. And I also have the basic tutorial and the first part of the story mode uploaded, so you can check that out as well. So that being said, I have some news. Not a whole lot of news today. I have some E3 news. I have news on Nintendo not planning to announce any new hardware at E3. I have news on a new Persona 5 game being announced. So that's very interesting. I'm actually looking forward to this game. And I have some bit of smaller news with some game release dates and whatnot. I got like 7 articles here, and let's get right into it, shall we? So let's do the smaller news first. I said I got some E3 news here. Microsoft, in the news that I had missed, the little bit of news I had missed over the past few weeks, they did announce their briefing for E3, which, let me just look that up real quick. Since I don't have it on the screen, I want to give accurate information here. Let's see, Xbox E3 briefing, here we go. It will be June 9th at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. So that has been previously announced. With, of course, Sony still opting to pull out of E3 this year. Square Enix has announced their E3 conference will be on June 10th. It will be June 10th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So, let me see. Square Enix did not note which games will appear or how long the presentation will be. However, the company does have a number of releases planned. Final Fantasy VII Remake is a big one. We also know Million Arthur, Arcana Blood, Remancing, Saga 3 Remaster, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Remastered Edition, Babylon Falls, Dragon Quest XI, just to name a few. E3 is taking place this year, if you include the conferences, which I do. June 9th through the 13th in LA, of course, at the same location as always. So there you go. So you have Microsoft on June 9th, Square Enix June 10th. Nintendo has not announced when their E3 Direct will be just yet. It's usually on the second day of conferences, though, and it's usually in the morning. Sony, of course, opted to pull out of E3 a few months back, and we have yet to gain word on that as to whether or not they have changed their mind. So, and I don't think Ubisoft or Bethesda announced their E3 situations yet. If they did, I'll get back to you on that. But we got some release dates here. Super Mario Maker 2 releasing on June 28th. So 2 months from today. Or not 2 months. Yeah, 2 months from today. Out of the blue, Nintendo has revealed the full release date for Super Mario Maker 2, the sequel to one of the best-selling Wii U and 3DS games. While we haven't seen much of the game since the game's reveal in previous Nintendo Direct, what we do know is that one of the major new additions is a new gameplay style based on Super Mario 3D World in a 2D plane. This means some unique gimmicks like object popping into the foreground from the background and the return of the excuse me, the cat suit, the bell, will be back. Of course, there are some more screenshots. Nothing, nothing too major to mention here. And that's it. So, Super Mario Maker comes out in 2 months. I'm looking forward to it. Mario Maker 2. I loved the first game. I will play the shit out of the second one, I'm sure. I will have to pick it up in July, though, because at the end of June, I'm sure I will not have the money for it. So I'll be picking that up day one in July. Super Neptunia RPG update. We get a June release window in the West. So the game has been out in Japan now for about 8 months. Close to 8 months. And we're still waiting for it in the West, and it's been delayed twice. After the delay from spring to summer, Idea Factory International announced that Super Neptunia RPG will make its worldwide debut on PC June 20th, followed by PS4 and Switch versions a few days later. So the PC version's coming out first. Which is bizarre, because normally with this series, the PC version doesn't come out for a couple of months after the console release, but they're doing it differently this time around. There's a screenshot here showing off 3 new characters, it looks like. One being a redhead who is definitely not Uzume, unless, of course, she got completely redesigned. I don't know who these characters are. Latest system details from the game's official website. There are monsters roaming within the dungeons. When Neptune's touches a monster, battle begins. So that's basically like all the other games. Within dungeons, you are able to jump, double jump, and even summon a squishy pudding-like monster that can help you reach new heights. So this game is going to play pretty damn similar to Exist Archive and whatnot. So I am very familiar already with this kind of battle style, gameplay style. You can switch your formations on the fly, which is, pretty cool. You can use strike, magic, support, and heal formations. There's a goddess gauge, parties AP, the break gauge, all the simple, all the good RPG stuff you would expect. Characters obviously have skills and abilities, all the standard RPG stuff. So, Super Neptunia will release on Steam on the 20th with a 20% discount for launch week. The game will release on the PS4 and the Switch on June 25th in the West, in the US, and the 28th in Europe. So, the end of June, again, that's going to be a game I'm probably going to have to pick up in July. This is going to be a cheaper game than Mario Maker, so... And this is a game I've been looking forward to getting. I'm going to probably have to get this from GameFly. Because I don't think I'm going to be able to afford to buy both games. Which sucks for me. But, it is what it is. Alright, so... Into the bigger news. Retro Studios hiring more people to help develop Metroid Prime 4. Seems like this game is a very big project. Retro Studios has announced that the company is hiring on Twitter. More importantly, it noted that it is looking for people to join the company and help with the development of Metroid Prime 4. The tweet states, Retro Studios is hiring. retrostudios.com/careers, where you can apply for the job. Retro Studios' official website shows the company hiring for 12 positions. The developer is looking for an art director, art outsourcing manager, lead character artist, lead cinematics artist, lead external environment artist, lead graphics engineer, level 1 gameplay engineer, level 1 tools engineer, level 3 tools engineer, level 3 IT director, physics engineer, product tester, and product tester. All the positions are at the Austin, Texas location. Metroid Prime 4, that is, was first announced for the Switch back in E3 2017, and has not been shown since. In January 2019, the game was announced. Development would be restarted with Retro Studios and the Metroid Prime producer Kensuke Tanabe. So there you go. Game probably will not release until next year. It is definitely not coming this year. For all we know, it's very possible it won't even come next year. It probably will, but it might not. So if you've been waiting for Metroid Prime 4 and you think you're qualified for any of these positions, feel free to help out with the game's development. That'd be pretty neat. Let's see. Sony has stated they are not releasing the PS5 within the next 12 months. Sony Interactive Entertainment shared tidbits regarding its next generation console during financial results briefing, stated that it's not releasing over the next 12 months. According to the Wall Street Journal, tech reporter Takashi, I'm going to butcher this guy's name, Takashi Mochizuki. Sony will not release over the next 12 months, meaning its release sometime after April 2020. It's going to be, just like all their other releases, it's going to be in November or possibly September. Additionally, it has been noted that the PlayStation Now has seen a 40% annual growth since launch, boasting 700,000 subscribers. Sony also noted that it'll be putting in much of its 31.1 billion yen investment into development of the next PS console. That's a lot of money, man. 31.1 billion yen. I wonder how much that let's see, let me pull that up. Let's see how much that roughly translates to in American dollars. Let's see. Alright, so we want to do, where are we at? Japanese yen. Okay, so we want, 3, 1, 1, 0, 0. That's what? 31,100. 311,000. 3.1 million. 31.1 million $311 million. Okay, so I think that's it right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's see, tens, ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000, 100,000, million, 10 million, 100 million. Yep. Okay, so that equals out to. Sorry, I had to make sure I didn't put too many zeros. 31.1 billion yen equals. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 numbers. $278,251,700. If you're gonna put almost $300 million into developing the PS5, that's a lot of fucking money. I mean, that is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. I safe to say I am looking forward to the PS5. I'm thinking it's going to be a $500 console. Honestly, I can't see if they're gonna put the console out, spending that much money into developing it. I don't think they can sell it for less. I know the PS4 sold for $400. As long as they don't do what they did with the prices of the PS3, because that was too much. $600 at launch was absolutely freaking crazy. Don't do that again, Sony. I think $500 is a perfect price point for the PS5. Alright, what do we have here? Alright, Nintendo. Nintendo president. He says they are not announcing any new Switch hardware at E3. There have been a lot of rumors on the the Nintendo Switch Pro and a Nintendo Switch Lite or Switch Mini. So, yet again, these rumors have been dispelled by Nintendo for like the third time this year. There's been a lot of talk about new Switch models coming this year, reportedly in the fall, but the Nintendo CEO, Shintaro Furukawa, said in recent financial briefing they have no plans to announce any new hardware at E3 2019. According to Reuters, I have no idea how to pronounce that, Reuters tech report, Sam Newsy, Nintendo, said it expects to sell 18 million Switch consoles through March 2020. So they want to sell 18 million more between now and next March, which is over a million more than the 16.95 million that it sold in the past fiscal year that just ended last month. As for software, Furukawa expects the company to sell 125 million games. That's across all their games released through the same amount. So, President Furukawa didn't have much else to say about possible new hardware other than the fact that the company is always developing hardware internally. Recently reported that Nintendo is partnering with Tencent to bring in the Switch to China. However, Furukawa said that it isn't happening soon and it isn't included in the forecasts. So there you go again, all of you speculators, all of you people that have been swirling around in the rumor mill, who have been thinking that the Switch Mini or Switch Pro or both would be releasing this year. That's obviously not the case. We might get something announced later this year, but it's not going to come out until next year, if it even happens at all. So, personally, I'm happy with my Switch. I really don't think we really don't need an upgraded or portable-only Switch at this time. Nintendo is doing great with the Switch now, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Hey, you really can't even call this a podcast. We're only going on about 20 minutes. This is more like a video. But, yeah, there's really not that much news this time around. mostly all Japanese gaming news, and I don't read Japanese. And a lot of some companies only releasing new screenshots for their games and stuff, and it's really not really anything I could make newsworthy out of. But here's the last piece of news I have for this week. Persona 5, new Persona 5 game announced for the Switch and the PS4. Atlus and Koei Tecmo are teaming up for a Musou-style Persona 5 game called Persona 5 Scramble: The Phantom Strikers for the PS4 and the Switch. And there is a trailer. There is a Japanese trailer for the game's announcement. Persona 5 Scramble is in development for PS4 and Switch. The release date or window has not been announced yet. This was announced on the first day of the Persona Super Live 2019 concert. Atlus shared the latest on the Persona 5 The Royals for PS4 as well, which you can check out. Which I don't have news on that, so that must have been previously. I don't know really shit. I don't know shit about Persona 5. I know very little about the Persona series in general. I only know a little bit through Erin Fitzgerald, of course, because she played Chie in Persona 4 Golden and Persona 4 Arena. She also, I believe, voiced in Persona Q, the first game. Outside of that, I've also seen a little bit of gameplay from one of my friends who played Persona 3 on a Skype call, doing a screen share. That was a few years back. So I really don't know anything about the Persona series. Of course, I know Joker is in Smash, and Persona 5 is coming to Persona 5 is coming to the Switch later this year. And of course, Persona 5 P5R, people have been wondering for a while now what that was. Of course, that is now. We know it is Persona 5 The Royals. So, with that being said, guys, I am really excited for this game. Even though I don't know shit about the Persona series or this game in general. I have played quite a few Musou or Warriors style games. I have played a fair bit of the Dynasty Warriors series. I have played and platinumed Warriors All-Stars that released a few days before my birthday last year in September. I have played Hyrule Warriors, and I'm not even a Zelda fan, and I love that game. I have played Fire Emblem Warriors. I've put over 200 hours into that game. And I'm not a big Fire Emblem fan either, and I love that game as well. So, this is a Musou-style game. I do plan to play it. It is something I'm going to be looking forward to. So, when I have more news on that, I will bring it to you. So, that being said, guys, that's the end of this video, this podcast. Only going about 24-25 minutes this time around. But, when you're by yourself, you don't have as much to talk about. I did say it would be shorter than the last one, and holy shit, it's about an hour and 45 minutes shorter than the last one, so there you go. Now, to give myself more to talk about this week, I did try to look up news regarding the free games for May in 2019 being for PS Plus and Xbox Live. All I've found so far were leaks, so nothing concrete. So that will be in the next episode as well. I will be talking about whatever free games for May on the PS4 and the Xbox as well. Next week is going to be an interesting one. I'll have those announcements. Hopefully, some more news. Hopefully, more news and more major news, as well as my Mortal Kombat 11 review. What do I ultimately think about the game, and how much fun is it, and my final thoughts on the collector's edition. So with that being said, guys, thanks for watching and thanks for listening to this video. I know it's very short, but I wanted to do something since I haven't done anything in about 4 weeks. So I wanted to bring you guys something, even if it wasn't a lot. So thanks again, guys. Check out the videos I've uploaded recently. Check out the links in the description down below. And until next time, my name is The Rose, and I'll catch your ass down the road.